What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Erickson the Hammer Lubin dominates former unified junior middleweight world champion Jeison Rosario. He gets a 7th round knockout victory once again to the body. Jeison Rosario gets stopped to the body. He was stopped in his unification bout with now unified two-time junior middleweight world champion superstar boxer Jermell Lions Only Charlo in his last fight. Now Erickson Lubin, 24 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 17 wins by way of knockout. He himself was knocked out one time in his career. At the time, Erickson Lubin, 25 years old, 5'9.5" with a 74.5-inch arm reach. He stops Jeison Rosario. Jeison Rosario, who was the unified champion, he lost to Jermell Charlo as well as Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin only loss in his career is to Jermell Charlo. In this fight, he did get buzzed in the 5th round, but in the 6th round, he came back. He looked very, very sharp. I thought he won the first 4 or 5 rounds, In the 6th round, he got buzzed. In the 5th round, he got buzzed at the end of the round. He had shaky legs, and in the 6th round, he came back, dominated the round, back to boxing. And in the 7th round, he got the stoppage victory. Jeison Rosario, 20 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 14 wins by way of knockout. He himself was knocked out 3 times. 26 years of age, stands at 5'11" with a 70-inch arm reach. He was knocked out to the body by Jermell Charlo in his last fight. That was September of 2020. It was a unification bout. The WBC, the WBA, and the IBF titles was on the line after he had a shocking upset victory over then unified junior middleweight world champion Julian J. Rod Williams, January of 2020. This time, Jeison Rosario, he was stopped with a jab to the body, and Jeison Rosario stated that the reason he was unable to continue against Jermell Charlo was due to the fact that he wasn't in shape, and he blamed his conditioning for the reason he got stopped to the body by Jermell Charlo with a jab to the body. Well, once again tonight, Erickson the Hammer Lubin, he stopped Jeison Rosario to the body. Once again, it was a body shot that stopped the fight. It was a barrage of body shots. It was straight lefts. He was jabbing him to the body, but this time it was right hooks, left hooks, straight lefts to the body, and Jeison Rosario, he just couldn't continue. 2 knockdowns in the 7th round, and ultimately saw Erickson the Hammer Lubin get the victory over Jeison Rosario. Now sets up Erickson Lubin. He's the mandatory WBC challenger for the winner of July 17th undisputed showdown between Jermell Charlo and WBO junior middleweight world champion Brian Castano. That's scheduled to take place July 17th. With that said, Erickson Lubin is looking to get a rematch of his fight with Jermell Charlo. He was stopped by Jermell Charlo. He was knocked out by Jermell Charlo in the 1st round of their fight, The 1st round of their fight saw Jermell Charlo knock him out. That was back in October of 2017. Jermell Charlo knocked out Erickson Lubin in the 1st round. Most people felt like Erickson Lubin was too young. It was too early in his career. Nonetheless, even Jermell Charlo was saying that he wasn't ready. Everybody pushed for the fight because Erickson Lubin's athletic ability, his southpaw prowess, his boxing skills, his ring IQ, his athletic ability, his power, and everybody pushed for the fight. And Jermell Charlo knocked him out in the 1st round. He made a mistake, and Jermell Charlo made him pay with a short, choppy hook on the inside, and Erickson Lubin was knocked out and could not recover. Now he's placed himself in position 4 years later to receive a rematch with Jermell Charlo. Now he's the mandatory challenger for Jermell Charlo. I like this fight, Now, again, we saw him get buzzed in the 5th round, We saw him get buzzed in his last fight with Terrell Boucher. Nathaniel Gallimore, he beat Nathaniel Gallimore from pillar to post. But against Terrell Boucher, he was buzzed in that fight. Now, he did win the fight, unanimous decision. He did. Jeison Rosario, Banana Rosario, is a big puncher, He buzzed Lubin tonight, so we saw him buzzed in his last 2 fights. He weathered the storm. He was able to stay calm, cool, and collective. When he got knocked out by Jermell Charlo, it was a hook on the inside, short, choppy hook on the inside that he didn't see. He fell and he could not recover. At least in these two cases, he was able to recover, weather the storm, and get back to what he does best. That's boxing, using his stick, the jab, fighting at bay, showing his athletic ability, showing his power, showing the ability to change levels. He's with Coach Cunningham. That's a specialist with southpaws, okay? Multi-time, he had Devin Alexander, Corey Spinks, just to name a few southpaws, that are devastating. And now he has Erickson Lubin, okay? Erickson Lubin, he looked spectacular tonight, okay? He was changing levels. This is what I predicted. I predicted Erickson and Hammer Lubin to look fantastic. I predicted him to put on the showcase performance tonight, change levels and look very sharp and look great. Because Jeison Rosario, he does have a lot of power. He's a very good, very big pressure fighter, but he's shown not to be able to take punches. Okay, he himself was knocked out by Nathaniel Gallimore. Okay, then he was knocked out by Jermell Charlo, and now he's been knocked out by Erickson Lubin to the body. Okay, so with that said, this was an impressive win because this was the biggest puncher that Erickson Lubin has faced since fighting Jermell Charlo, and he was able to, weather the storm. He was able to deal with, getting buzzed, and this is what everybody wanted to see from Erickson Hammer Lubin, see if he could take a punch. And Jeison Rosario is one of the biggest punchers at 154. Now, obviously, Jermell Charlo, he has to get past, Brian Castano, as I expect Jermell Charlo to get past Brian Castano. I believe that Jermell Charlo, just has too much for Brian Castano. Jermell Charlo, 34 wins, 1 loss. That coming at the hands of Tony Harrison. No draws, 18 wins by way of knockout. That loss, he avenged that loss. He's 31 years of age, stands at 5'11" with a 73-inch arm reach, okay? He's going to take on Brian Castano, who is 17 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 12 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age. He stands at 5'7.5" with a 67-inch arm reach. Those intangibles, I believe, are not going to work in the favor of Brian Castano. The fact that he has a 67-inch arm reach, Jermell Charlo has a 73 to 74-inch arm reach. Okay, so he's going to have a 7-inch arm reach advantage, 6 to 7-inch arm reach advantage over Brian Castano, and he's going to have a 4-inch height advantage over Brian Castano. He's a better skilled boxer. I believe he has more power. He's just more. He's athletic. He's more athletic than Brian Castano. This is scheduled to take place, July 17th. Now, Brian Castano is a pressure fighter. He can put a lot of pressure on his opponents. He has power, but I believe that Jermell Charlo's technical abilities, his advantages in this fight, the fact that he's the bigger, taller guy, he's strong, just as strong, or if not stronger than Brian Castano. He's a better pure boxer than Brian Castano. I just see Jermell Charlo stopping Brian Castano within the 10th round, okay, by the 10th round, if not earlier, okay, because Brian Castano, he makes a lot of mistakes coming forward. So I'm hard pressed to see Brian Castano truly, press Jermell Charlo to the limit, okay. So I'm expecting Jermell Charlo to win the fight, and then not only does Erickson Lubin get the opportunity to rectify his loss, but he gets to do so for undisputed, okay. All belts will be on the line by the time they fight. Maybe they'll fight in the fall, maybe early winter. He's the mandatory challenger. So if Jermell Charlo doesn't vacate the WBC title, which I highly doubt he will, then Erickson and Hammer Lubin will be his next fight, and it's a rematch. And now there should be no excuses, okay? Erickson Lubin, he switched from his trainer to now he's with Kevin Cunningham. So that's huge. He looked much different. He's very poised. He's very sharp, and I believe that, it'll be a more competitive fight. Now we'll be able to see how Erickson Lubin boxing ability affects Jermell Charlo getting past the first round, okay? Tony Harrison is a very, very big, rangy boxer. He's probably the best pure boxer, in the sport of boxing. I mean, in the 100 junior middleweight division, in the 154-pound division. He's very big as well, that being Tony Harrison, okay? He's very rangy. He has a great boxing ability, great jab, He's 6'1" with a 76.5, nearly a 77-inch arm reach at 30 years old. So he had a 3 to 4 inch arm reach advantage over Jermell Charlo, and he had a 2-inch height advantage over Jermell Charlo. And he's just a very good pure boxer. So he presented a very difficult challenge that I believe that Jermell Charlo was able to, compute. Okay, and he made adjustments and he knocked Tony Harrison out in the second fight. So with that said, can't wait to see how this plays out. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.